Hey Revolve, it's Chris Appleton and I'm here today to show you two of my favourite looks. I started doing hair when I was 13. I always had a passion for creating looks with my hands, but more than that, I think for me it was about the emotional connection of doing someone's hair, making them look in the mirror and seeing their reaction and see how they feel, and their shoulders would go back. My mum was my main kind of model back then. I was only like 8 or 9 years old. So for me, it's always been about making people look good, but when you feel good is when the magic really happens. I have a relationship with Colour Wow. I'm super passionate about the brand. Anyone that knows my hairstyles know that I use a lot of product to create the look. So for me, it was vital that I worked with a product company which respected the condition of the hair, gave great results, and something I could really work with. So our relationship came together very organically because I was actually just using their products. All right guys, first up, I'm going to show you how to create a really sexy, messy look. It kind of never goes out of fashion, but it's definitely having a revamp right now. I think people are really enjoying having volume in the hair. So I'm going to show you how to get that messy, undone texture in a few simple steps. All right, so the key product behind this look, I'm only going to use one product. It's the Colour Wow Raise the Root. I use this on dry hair, and what I'll do, you can see Christine's hair is kind of flat right now. I'm going to show you how to get loads of volume at the root without having to do too much and without any elbow grease of doing like a super strong blow dry. So we're going to use this through the root. So I like to spray it in sections. Use my fingers to open up the hair up, and we just want to make sure that all the roots are saturated in the product, because this is effectively going to be like scaffolding for the hair. It's going to give us loads of lift and just pick everything up from the scalp and give you that kind of lived-in texture. I like it as well because it gives the hair a bit of grit and a bit of guts. You know, when you first washed your hair and it's super soft, it kind of takes that feeling away from the root, so the root feels like it has some life to it. All right guys, now the product's in, we're gonna work the hair and dry it off the roots. I'm gonna use a Mason and Pearson brush and a hairdryer, and I'm literally gonna brush the hair away from the scalp in an upwards direction all the way over. If you struggle with that, the alternative is just to put your head upside down and literally blast the hair all the way from the roots. Okay guys, so you can see now that hair has been lifted off the scalp, so you should get something that looks like this. So you get loads of volume at the root, the hair's got some life to it, and it already looks like there's some action going on, but without all the elbow grease of doing a round brush blow dry. So for me, the raise the root really is the secret to a quick, bouncy look. All right guys, I'm gonna show you a little cheat that I like to do. Instead of blow drying the whole head of hair, what I like to do, I think for me, the money pieces are at the front. So what I like to do is just get a big round brush, and I take the front section, use the round brush, and literally just wrap it in without a part and hit it with some heat. This will give you some lift around the front and really complement the face shape. I think when the hair has some bounce and bend around the face, it's always very flattering and it gives you that real kind of sexy undone look. Just leave it a couple of seconds to set. So you can see now you get that lift at the front, and that's as much of a blow dry as you need to do with this look. Okay guys, so now the product's done all the work with getting the volume, what we're gonna do is add that undone wave. So we're not gonna take too many sections with this. I'm using the GHD curling iron. This is 1.5 inch. So we're taking a big section of hair. I'm gonna use the Colour Wow Style on steroids. This is a texturizing spray, but it also has a heat protector in it. So not only will it give the hair that kind of, I guess, almost lived in, real textured look, it actually protects it from the heat and it doesn't stick to the irons. So I'm gonna blast that on the mid-lengths and ends of the hair. I'm gonna use my curling iron. This is a 1.5 inch curling iron. And I'm gonna keep the hair flat at the root, wrap it around and leave the very ends out. It's important you leave the ends out because what we want is more of a wave as opposed to a curl. And what I'll even do is kind of, if the hair's looking too curly sometimes, I'll just pull it while it's hot, just so you don't get too much of a curl. Because remember, this is kind of that lived-in sexy look. Just taking large sections, but you know, not too large that it doesn't sit around the barrel of the curling iron. Blast those mid-lengths and ends, and then again, keep the roots flat, because we don't want volume at the root. We've already got that from the blow dry. We just want to curl the mid-lengths and ends. You'll see I rock the curling iron backwards and forwards a little bit. That's just so I don't get too much of a defined curl. And like I said, if it's too curly, I'll just pull it slightly and it just relaxes it a little bit and then leave it to set. Leave it until the hair feels hot to touch, or I would say like 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds. Take it out, and if it's looking a bit too curly, you can just pull on it and just make it more relaxed and more like that chill wave. So guys, my little tip, when you're working around the front, this is the key part of the hairstyle, the front pieces. So you want to make sure it's nice and flattering. So what I always like to do is I'll take my section, put the Style and steroids in, and then what we're going to do is always make sure you bend the hair away from the face. Never curl the hair into the face. You always want to open up the face by taking that front section and wrapping it backwards away from the face. And you'll see that then the hair falls away from the face rather than into it. And it will just move much more natural. This is what you want to do. Get this kind of wave, let it set, and then we'll shake it out later. I'm going to continue this throughout the back and the opposite side. All right guys, so now you've curled the hair, you should have something that looks a bit like this. So last few touches, you can't be afraid to shake this out. A lot of girls I've noticed when they've curled the hair, they're always nervous to shake it out. Don't worry, it's not gonna go anywhere. We've used the Style on steroids cocktailed with the razor root. That for me is an awesome duo which will give you the volume and hold that you need. So now we're gonna put the head upside down and just shake it all out. So put your head forward for me. We're gonna use a little bit more of the Style on steroids spray all over. Once the head's forward, I usually just kind of massage the roots and then I go back in with the Style on steroids and just add a little bit more product. The Style on steroids effectively, if you think about it, it's like backcombing in a bottle. It just gives the hair that grit and that kind of second day feel without taking away the shine. So if you just put your head up for me, you should get something that looks like this. So it's kind of like that sexy, undone hair, which never really goes out of fashion. But what's great about this is you can put your fingers in and you can feel like the texture and the volume, it kind of just stays. You can like move the hair around, you can flip the kind of side, you can do whatever you want with it and it kind of just falls back into place. But for me, this kind of hair is just really in trend right now. I think people are enjoying having more volume and kind of sexy undone vibes. If you want to make it bigger, what I normally do is just use a bit more product and just lift it out. Just use your fingers though, you don't need to use a comb. All right guys, this is the final look. So that kind of sexy bedhead hair, full of volume. I think the key part about this look is that it looks effortless and sexy. Cocktail the raise the root with the Style on steroids. It's the perfect dream team to create volumized, kind of sexy, voluptuous hair. You can see how much bigger a hair looks. And honestly, this just gets better with age. I feel like every day it kind of just adds more texture to it. This is the half up, half down snatch, but with a twist. I'm going to show you how to transform the hair and get that mirror-like texture, which I've become known for, in just a few simple steps. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to prep the hair. For me, prep is a really important part of any look. I'm going to show you how to get that mirror-like shine, and my secret weapon is this. It's the Colorwell Dream Coat. This is the GOAT of all hair products. It's the highest performing hair product out there. What it does is transform the texture of the hair. It doesn't matter whether the hair is dry or dull, or even the style, if you want to create volume or not. It really gives the hair that mirror-like shine. So what I like to do is saturate the hair in it. It's as light as water, it's not greasy at all, there's no heaviness. I take sections and just make sure every bit of hair has the same amount of love. So I saturate the product from root to tip and then blow dry that into the hair. That's gonna give you the finish. And believe you me, the finish really does make all the difference. So I'm gonna go through from root to tip, making sure every strand of hair has the same amount of product. And then what we're gonna do is blow dry it into the hair. What I love about this product as well, it has an anti-humidity protection. So that waterproof furniture you have in your garden where the water beads up and sits on top, that's the same as this. When the water hits it, the water as in humidity, it basically rolls off the hair. So your style will stay in place, which for me is really important. So next we're gonna blow dry the hair using a hairdryer, a big round brush. I'm just gonna smooth the hair out and pull the brush through until it's completely dry. So once the hair's been blow dried, what you should do is get something that looks like this. So what the Dream Coat does is transforms that texture And like I said, it doesn't matter what the texture of the hair is, it really gives it that mirror-like radiance. So you can see by just blow drying, it almost looks like the hair's had a keratin blow dry or a Brazilian blow dry on it. It looks super smooth and glossy. So guys, what we're going to do now to make this hair look extra shiny, this is the Wow Extra Shine Spray. It's a really beautiful product because it doesn't make the hair greasy, it's very light, but it gives it the amazing glossy finish that you want. You'll have noticed that glass hair trend where it was really shiny. I always use this, so what I'll do is I'll mix it. I put a blast of this on the mid-lengths and ends of the hair, and then I use the flattening iron to go over the top. As the flattening iron goes over the top, it kind of melts the shine spray into the hair and it gives it this amazing flawless finish. So you can see the combination of the Dream Coat with the Wow Extra Shine Spray really does transform the texture of the hair and give it that amazing mirror-like radiance. So as we take sections of hair, what I want you to do, because we're going to do the half up, half down, is we're going to do a little bit of a flip on the ends of the hair. So add in the shine spray. When we take the flattening irons through, we're just going to flip the ends up, because we're going to do that half up, half down, but the ends are going to flip. I think especially on this length of hair, it works really nice. So just blending those ends out. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to add the side part, kind of do a deep side part, and I usually just leave a small section out. So we're going to take this and literally clip it out of the way. So this is going to be basically brought down after. Kind of makes the half up, half down look quite cute. You don't have to do the side part, but for me, it kind of just adds a little bit of fun. It's kind of right in trend right now. So I usually take a section from the crown using this tail comb to the top of the ears, mirror that either side, and then literally just using some hairspray. So I'm going to use the Colour Wow Cult Favorite hairspray. I just put it all in at the root on either side, and then we're going to pull the sides back and give you that half up, half down. You'll notice I use a lot of product at the root. I use this Cult Favorite hairspray because it doesn't change the colour of the hair, it doesn't dull the hair down, it gives it a great amount of hold without changing, the texture or giving you any white bits. So when I'm pulling the hair up, half down, what you really want to do and aim for is follow the cheekbone. So you want to go from the cheekbone right up towards the crown of the head. Do the same on the opposite side, so I'm going to take the whole of that side section. I'm using a Mason & Pearson brush, you can use whatever brush you want, but I think the really important thing is you get a nice flat finish. And then once you've got it up, we're going to tie it with an elastic. I like to use these blanks elastics because they don't snap, but you can use whatever you want, whatever feels comfortable. So this is how you get that really lifted, tight kind of sides at the finish. So you want to get that really nice pull on the sides. Once you've done that, I like to use a toothbrush and just clean up these edges. So using more of the hairspray, I usually just add it to a toothbrush. This is a fancy toothbrush you can use, honestly, you can just use a regular toothbrush at home. This is nice just to kind of make sure it's nice and clean at the sides, but you can also like dress down the baby hairs and just kind of give it a nice flattering shape. I like to just kind of follow the cheekbone up though, and just make sure this is really clean. So you can see that just tidies it up, gives it a nice sharp finish. Take this top down, and we're going to pull it over to the side. Okay, so now we have the side part. What we're going to do is just put some spray through the roots, give us a little bit of hold. Using a soft bristle brush, just brush this down and give it a nice kind of curve. So once you've got a nice shape, I just like to use these old school clips. You can get them from anywhere, kind of like from the 90s, but they're really cute and they hold the place, or should I say hold the hair really nicely. You can use as many or as little as you want. Kind of makes it look really girly and fun. You can just perfect the front and make it look nice and flattering. Okay, so last few details. We wrapped a piece of hair around the ponytail at the root, just dressed down the baby hairs a little bit. But one of my favorite go-to last minute tricks is to use the Colour Wow root powder. I'll show you where. So for example, around these side areas where you can see the scalp, I like to go in and just fill it out. Makes the hairline come down and literally kind of gives you like that flawless finish to your ponytail. It just fills it out. So for me, it's a real kind of finishing product that I would never be without. You can see the before and after of that. So just filling out these areas here. So then just to finish off, I always add a little bit of the extra shine spray, brush it through the mid-lengths and ends just to give it a little bit more gloss and control. But there you have it. It's a cute little 90s, half up, half down. Play with the accessories, but like I said, the most important thing is to get that really nice snatch on the side, and the finish of the hair is really important to get that nice shine. Okay guys, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. You can shop the Colourwell products at revolve.com and make sure you subscribe and like in the comments below. Let us know what you thought to the video, and I'll see you next time.